So, Saph, mate.
So I was answering the questions into the camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
This coming year is the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall riots,
Yeah.
which led to the modern Pride movement.
Yeah.
If you were to meet Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Riviera, who started the Stonewall riots, what would you say to them today? Knowing what you know now, what it's led to.
I would say to Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Riviera.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you for what you did. Your actions reverberated through the Western world and helped create Pride, which has allowed so many homosexuals to celebrate themselves and feel comfortable in who they are and confident in who they are. And politically, you changed the landscape for the gay community.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And they died for what they believed in. They died for the struggle.
Yeah.
Do you think that's something that we need? Do we have to be committed to dying for the struggle? For LGBT freedom, for all freedom?
I think it saddens me to say, but I think death and violence do play a part in creating freedom. A lot of people that, Malcolm X is one of my favourite activists, and he said, we need to be violent, we need to stick up for ourselves, and I do think there's some strength behind that. Martin Luther King was brilliant, and the words do mean a lot, but the saying, like, what is it, words will never kill me or something, like, I do think violence is necessary sometimes, yeah. Death, unfortunately, is part of that. And if you look at some of the people that have died for people's freedom, it has actually worked. Nelson Mandela didn't die, but he spent a lot of time in prison. Like, there's so much pain that you have to go through to fight oppression. I think that's evident throughout life. Nothing really is won with being silent or by writing poems. Like, things are won through fighting back and, yeah, sometimes violence.
Amazing. Well, this kind of leads on nicely to this bit. Like, do you think we still need bricks today, just like they chucked it at the police? Do we still need bricks? And if so, if you had a brick, who would you chuck it at and why?
Yeah, bricks are necessary, but the brutality of the police is worse. They have more gadgets, they have more guns. Boris Johnson bought water cannons, which is now sold. But yeah, bricks will always be valid, especially now that we're coming into more of a CCTV state. Bricks, you're going to be needing bricks. However, they'll probably film you and catch you and arrest you. So you've got to be careful with that. If I had a brick, I'd fucking throw it in Margaret Thatcher's head, David Cameron's head. I'd throw it in all the Conservatives' heads. Who else? Nigel Farage, Tommy Robinson, Steve Bannon, Donald Trump, Katie Hopkins, Piers Morgan. He'd get a dash in the head. Piers Morgan would get a brick in his head.
Yeah, mate. And you've been so involved in so many different revolutionary movements, queer power movements, and what the Gay Liberation Front believed. Their aim wasn't freedom for all queer people, it was freedom for all people, and they were inspired by the Black Panthers. Yeah. Anyway, you've been so involved in so many movements over the last couple of years since we've known each other. What is your favourite action and why? Or favourite action / project?
Probably the Nigel Farage. My favourite action was probably the Nigel Farage action, where we went to his local pub and had a party. That was fun for many reasons. I think to start off with, it was fun because he didn't know we were coming. It was fun because we planned so many different events which would startle him in his own backyard. It was fun on the day because there was just an amazing range of people doing crazy things. Groups of people that I'd never met before coming in full costume, pretending to be farmers, speaking like farmers, acting like farmers, all for the event. We had a traffic jam outside full of immigrants. The whole event was so good. That was years ago, and till this day that was my favourite event because it was creative, it was fun, it was brash, and I just love it when people don't care. I just feel like with protests, there's so many people that create these signs which say things, but no, actually do something, actually bring it, and that's what we did.
Yes, mate. And what did it lead to? What did it lead to in terms of like movements came from that you've been involved in?
For me, what came from that was probably, I'd say, friendships. Like, I met some friends through that action. I met you, I met Laverick, I met Patrick, I met Sam. For me, it was a lot of friendships and also creativity. Like, you know, I make satire, I do like brash artwork. And what we had there was art, like it was an artistic party. So for me, I was inspired to make more art that like said that, you know, I don't care, this is what I'm going to do. So that's what it gave for me.
Yes, mate. And where next for you, Anna? Where next for you and Pride? Like, how does Pride make you feel? Where next for you in terms of your personal queer power?
I like Black Pride. I've got a lot of time for Black Pride. I do find Pride in general quite unsettling. I don't feel comfortable really at Pride. I find it really white, really middle class. You know, I find white gay men, some, with really bad politics. I think they're racist. I think they're homophobic towards everyone who isn't a white gay guy. I find them very anti-lesbian. So for me, Pride is not somewhere that I feel that comfortable in, to be honest with you. And I haven't really done a Pride properly. Like, I've never gone at 12, watched a parade and then partied in Soho. Like, I don't really party in Soho. It's not really for me. I don't find it interesting. So Pride has never really been of interest to me. I went to Black Pride for the first time last year and I really enjoyed that. You know, the music I want to listen to, I feel at home. I don't feel uncomfortable. I feel settled in that environment, and I think I'll just continue going to Black Pride, to be honest.
Yeah. So, Maya Angelou talks about a bird in a cage in Why the Caged Bird Sings. Where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as the bird, or in terms of your queer freedom?
Yeah.
Do you see yourself? Picture it, the bird in the cage.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself as the bird or the cage or both?
Ooh, deep.
I know.
I think being queer, you are different, but I've never allowed it to like be the end. I've never allowed my queerness to like stop me from doing anything. I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of my friends. I'm proud that we're gay. Like, it is harder. Like, you know, a lot of my friends, we struggle with money. We struggle with our mental health. And I guess it'll always be like that for us. And then when we start to create families, we're going to have an extra burden of us trying to fit in, our children trying to fit in. I think we're all, like, we're a bit odd, like, you know, but I've always been odd anyway. Like, I don't know, I've never really fitted in, to be honest with you. I'm kind of used to it. And I'm happy like that. I don't want to be the status quo. I don't want to try and keep up with the neighbours or anything like that. Actually, I think being gay gives you freedom because it makes you not want to follow everyone else, and you can actually be your true self, your true authentic self. So maybe I am a bird in the cage living in this state, but I don't know, I've got other birds in it with me too.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
One more question. Name is there's a story and situated in a place in London where you've got a memory of some place in London which has influenced your queer journey.
In London?
Yeah. Where is there like a bar or a club or a street or anywhere where it's been really influential in your queer journey?
When I first moved to London, I went to uni in Manchester and the queer scene there was shit. And then moved to London and it was more diverse, better music, hotter girls. London was, I guess I used to go to Dawson Superstore a lot when I first got here, and they used to have some really cool nights. And for me, coming from Manchester, I was like, this is more like it. So probably I'd say Dawson Superstore, not so much now. But yeah, when I first got to London, I think Dawson Superstore, I thought it was like the coolest spot, like the coolest girls. Yeah, I'd probably say Dawson Superstore.
Oh, nice. And if we're talking about queer spaces, and the loss of queer space and how, you know, with resistance and everything you do, is gentrification more than just a physical process of what it does for how it impacts the queer community?
Oh yeah, of course. More than physical, it's, what is it? Sociological?
Yeah.
What does gentrification do to queer spaces?
No, is it more than just a physical process?
Of course, like, you realise that you can't go to certain places anymore where you feel comfortable. There's so many different gay nights for different groups, and people might say, oh, identity politics is not necessary. And I agree to it to some cases, but, you know, minority groups do need spaces of their own to feel comfortable. And with gentrification, you do lose minority spaces for gay people. And that hurts, but then I guess it just pushes us underground, which is also cool as well. And that brings out a lot of creativity going underground. And you see that with loads of DIY spaces in London that are popping up, DIY nights that are popping up. So that's a good thing. But yeah, gentrification in general isn't just physical. You know, you've got working class families being moved out to Clacton-on-Sea, away from their families, away from their schools, away from their communities. It's displacement. It's, you know, displacement's never a good thing. And yeah, London will soon just become a soulless city, and every time some of my friends move out, they move into a different zone. Everyone's getting further and further out of London, and at the minute rent on average is $650 a month.
Yeah.
So you need to be earning like a good $2.5K a month to survive, really.
And what's your dream for this year, the 50th anniversary of Stonewall riots? What is your dream? What do you want to do this year?
I think Pride needs to get a bit more radical. I think, you know, they should invite different groups to attend the floats. They should get rid of some of the corporation backing. What I noticed about Pride this year, 2018, there was Pride flags in loads of like clothes stores, shopping stores. I've never seen that before. Like the glamification of Pride has turned into something else. Like some people, you know, people that aren't aware will say it's a good thing, it's more accepting, but I'm not sure. You've got any old shop just slamming up a Pride flag in their window.
Yeah.
I think Pride should become more radical. Like, invite some fucking Latino, gay people from Mexico. Like, invite some people from states in Africa. Like, you know, like, change it up a bit. Bring a different group in. I swear the Tories had a float last year.
Yeah. We should fucking chase them off.
Yeah.
We should chase them off. Yes. Okay, last one. I know you've got shit. Finish the sentence. Brick by brick, stone by stone. There's no right or wrong answer.
I will rip your wig off. What is it? Brick by brick?
Brick by brick, stone by stone.
Oh, we will build a world for all.
Yeah.
Cheesy.
Love it, mate.
What time is it?
12:45. 12:45, yeah. Anything else you want to say?
Dan's book's going to be great.
Yes, mate.
So what is this? So you're going to use these words for your book?
Yeah, it's all basically, I'm interviewing 15 people who I think are the fucking dons when it comes to revolutionary activism.
Yeah.
And you're going to get an illustration of your face.
No way.